Questions for Jeremy. Luke DeCock from the News and Observer. The floor slapping stuff last night, I mean, when Duke was really kind of in its floor slapping glory days, you guys were either not alive or very young. How did that kind of come into your mind? Like, how do you learn about that? Where does that get kind of passed down?
I mean, I think it's just in the Duke, like in the Duke basketball community. It's been going on for how 42 years. For however long the GOAT's been here, so I mean it's a staple in the program for sure. And when you see a Duke team slap the floor, you know they're all locked in. All five guys are locked in on one task and getting that stop. So I think that's a big thing.
Hey guys, I'm Bob Holt, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Paolo, I was wondering your take on Jalen Williams, just what you think about him as a player, and he's taken 52 charges, so he's pretty good at drawing fouls in there.
Yeah, he's a key player for them. Definitely seems like he kind of keeps them together. He's able to pass, shoot, really do everything at the 5 spot for him. So, he's a great player. And then, like you said, the charges, that's not something that you see a lot, a big man taking that many charges. And it's real unique. So, you got to be aware of him at all times, just where he's at on the floor.
Question from Mark.
Mark Spears, ESPN's Landscape. Coach, can you talk about...
Why don't you get them? You want to?
Yeah, we can go.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, about, just
No,
want to
I'm
ask
sorry.
you about Paolo's growth throughout the season, and what kind of influence as a basketball player do you think his mother has had on him?
All he is and all he ever hopes to be is a result of his mother. It's a West Point thing. You have to say it about your squad leader. And no, Rhonda's and Mario, they're great. Yeah, the thing with Paolo's really coachable. And a big reason for that is because of the family he comes from. And so he's gotten better and better. And then, the thing that he's doing right now that is an emerging thing is his, he has a strong face and positive talk in the locker room, at a timeout, on the court. And, he's really, that's another step forward. He's got so much more that he's still going to develop, but it's been a steady track up, and he's playing his best basketball right now.
Question in the middle.
Yeah, this is for Paolo and Wendell. A question about AJ. Just curious. This is Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post, by the way. Just curious what you've seen of his development this year. Obviously, Paolo, you're a fellow freshman. What have you seen of him from the time he got hurt until this point where he's at right now?
I mean, really, we've seen nothing but growth. Every single practice, AJ comes to work. He definitely puts in so much work off the court that people don't even see. It's translating to the game that he plays in now. So, I mean, every game he plays, I feel like he's getting me better. He's getting better in some aspect, whether it's scoring, defensively. He's even talking a little bit now. So, I mean, so for us, that was a huge thing, really just to get him out of the shell, and I think he's finally coming out of the shell.
Question from Myron.
Myron Metcalf, ESPN, for Mark and Paolo. How important has Jeremy Roach's leadership been for what you all have been able to achieve so far in the NCAA tournament?
It's been huge. Obviously, Jeremy's a hell of a player, and especially in the tournament, he's been making plays, all throughout, and I think that just shows like the work he's been putting in all year, and credit goes to him for that.
We'll go back to Mark.
I just wanted Paolo to answer that question on AJ and his, what you've seen of him since, because when he got hurt, obviously in October, you didn't really know what that future stood for him, and he obviously, from all accounts, he worked so hard to get back.
Yeah, he's been through, more than any of us, just in terms of injuries and obstacles to get to where he's at. But he's as hard as a worker as you'll find. It was actually seemed like he was working too hard, early in the season. He was just in the gym all the time, getting shots and stuff like that. But that's just who he is. He's a great kid. He's a great teammate. He just wants to win. And so to see him, thrive like he has been, come back from injury, and just have a great season and step up in these big moments has been great. Just because we've seen, all year, the work he's put in and how far he's came.
Question on the right.
Hey, Brennan Marks from The Athletic. Question for Wendell. They've got two former ACC guys in Audis and Chris Likes. Two-parter, did you get a chance to sort of peek your head out and see what Audis was able to do last night? And also, do you have any memories of playing against either of those two guys? I know Chris didn't play a whole ton last year.
Yeah, I definitely have some memories of Audis. He gave us 27 and 22. The two games that we faced him while he was at Pitt. So he's definitely capable. He's for sure a great player. Coming from North Carolina, I was able to see him a lot just throughout the AU scene. And Chris, he's still a great player. At Miami, he was their leading scorer. He was an all-ACC player when he was ACC. So he's definitely he's really a good guard. So both those guys bring a lot of energy to that Arkansas team. They bring a lot of energy, athleticism, defense, scoring. So those two guys are two major parts of their team and two things that we've been looking out for in the scout.
Question from Ron.
For Paolo, if you could, I'm sort of following up on Mark Spears' question about your mom's influence. How much have you seen videos of her playing? I imagine you were too young to probably see her play live much, but how much does your game resemble hers, and what do you sort of learn from basketball from her?
Yeah, she was definitely the main basketball influence in my life. She was a coach. Really my early years growing up, so I was in the gym with her every day, watching practice, going with her to games and practices. And yeah, I have watched some of her old film and stuff. I've seen a couple plays that I've made this year where it actually kind of does resemble. She wasn't really an outside player. She was definitely inside the arc, but she was explosive, great finisher around the rim, always active on the glass. She was a high-energy player as well, so, I try and channel some of that. Some people might see me as more laid back, and my mom's the opposite, so I just try and channel some of that.
Question from Josh.
Josh Dubow from AP. Paolo, Coach talked last night about how you were doing things he'd never seen you do before. Was it sort of were you aware of that? Was it sort of a conscious effort that, okay, I need to take this game over at this point, or how did that come about?
I think it was just playing to win. That's a stage that I'd never been on, just in my basketball career, on that big of a stage. So, when you're on that stage, it just brings things out of you when you're playing to win. Coach, he's been on me all year, and been pushing me all year. So, I'm sure him seeing me do that. I wouldn't say he was surprised, but it was probably good for him to see. Like he said, I feel like I'm playing my best basketball, but I also got, more to do.
It would be nice to see it again.
Yeah, for sure.
And again and again.
Question to the right.
A question for Paulo. It's Rocco Miller with bracketshere.org. You and I might be the only two people in this room originally from Seattle, so I got to ask you, how much did growing up and being part of Seattle basketball culture shape your game? And second part of the question is, are you talking to anybody, legends from Seattle that went through the tournament, maybe like Isaiah Thomas or others? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I would say as far as the influence Seattle's had, I would just say really just my natural feel for the game, and then just kind of free flowing, and just kind of being able to do a little bit of everything. I think I take pride in that. And then as far as guys reaching out, yeah, a lot. Spencer Hawes was actually there yesterday. Isaiah watched the whole game. He called me after the game. DeJounte Murray called me after the game. So it's just a big family, man. And they're always watching and supporting. And cheering for me, so it's good to have them in my corner.
Question over to the left.
Thank you. Hey guys, Claire Hanna with TSN. When Arkansas beat Gonzaga, it showed just how good their defense was, but especially how they limited their point guard, Andrew Nembhard. And I'm curious how much of an advantage it is to have that on tape and be able to study it and learn from it as you guys prepare to face them. And I'll give that one to Jeremy.
I mean, it's definitely good to see. I mean, the tape and how they adjusted to Gonzaga. I mean, they took them out of transition. They're real physical with them all game. So, I mean, I think just coming into this game tomorrow, we just got to match that intensity and even have more intensity than them coming out the gates, because you don't want to give them a rhythm early, because it can get scary.
Question to the right.
Steve Wiseman, Raleigh News and Observer. This is for Wendell. The team has been able to win or be successful with different groupings on the court at different times. Like the end of the Michigan State game, AJ was hurt, Trevor was out there. Last night, opposite. And then you had the ball handling lineup with Paolo with the 5. What have it allowed you guys to have that cohesion, that versatility this year?
I really think it's the trust and chemistry that we have in each other. So really, any 5 guys on the court, the other 4 guys have the supreme confidence that whoever has the ball is going to make a great play, not just for themselves, but it's going to be the right play for us to be able to win a game. And the main thing is that everybody who steps on the floor is all about winning. None of us have our own personal agendas while we're on the floor. We all just want to win. So that's really what's been showing these close games, these past 5-minute games that we've been showing. It's really just our will to win.
Over to the left with David.
David Thompson, USA Today Network. This question's for Coach K, if that's okay, just about Paolo. You talked last night about how you were impressed with him, especially in that 60-second spurt. I know you went back, you watched the tape. Was there anything else that really stuck out about his play yesterday?
You know, I really didn't watch a tape of our game because I saw a lot. I was trying to catch up with Arkansas. So all I can say is that Paolo's game has gotten better and better as the tournament's gone along, but so has our teams. And a huge thing is when these guys are very close, when one guy's doing more, like I think it's who had the influence on each other. Jeremy's play, maybe that had an influence on Paolo or vice versa. You know, Mark, you know, like they feed off one another. And maybe his play is as a result of the strong drives that Jeremy made just before that. And that's the beauty of a unit coming together at a high level.
Question in the back left.
Vash Tyhurt with Carolina Blitz. I guess this is for Wendell. I'm curious, there was talk last night about how you guys told Coach K that you wanted to switch from zone to man. What does that moment look like in the huddle telling Coach K that you want to, you know, switch defense?
I mean, really, it was just a talk. I mean, it was just a normal huddle for us. But I mean, all 5 guys knew we needed to stop. The zone's been going great for us, but we just felt they got a couple buckets late. I mean, so we wanted to finish the game with our defense. And all year we've hung our hat really on our man-to-man defense. I mean, we knew we needed to stop. So, I mean, all 5 guys really just came together. And Coach trusted us, and he trusted us enough to allow us to be able to do what we wanted to do. I mean, it paid off.
Question on the left.
Hey there, this is Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. This is for either Jeremy or Wendell. But there's probably not that many opportunities in your life when you are coached with someone with as much history with the game as the man that's sitting over to your right. And I know he was telling us about his time living at the Presidio when he was in the Army and playing there. But do you ever ask him questions about his history with the game when he comes to places like this? Because, you know, with someone like Coach K, he's got a story for every arena.
I mean, everybody who's a fan of basketball, I mean, kind of knows what he's been through, who he's coached for, who he's coached with. So I mean, you kind of know the story going into this tournament. Definitely ask him questions because he's been here before. He's been here more than any coach or player and who's ever played college basketball. So I mean, definitely taking all the knowledge he has, soaking it up, and using it to our advantage.
Question from Bob.
This is for Jeremy and Wendell, and kind of a follow-up. What do you guys think of J.D. Note? He's a high-volume shooter, and sometimes he's not hitting them, but he just seems to find a way to score. And then, Wendell, you were talking about Audis and, you know, the big games he's had scoring-wise, but Eric Musselman's always praising his defense, how he's locking people down. Just wondering what you think of his defense as well.
Yeah, so as far as J.D., He's definitely probably one of the better guards in the country. Like you said, I mean, if he misses a shot, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything to him. He's going to take the next one. Like it's his first shot. I think that's what makes him really such a great player. It's really just his short-term memory. I mean, nothing seems to bother him. So even in the big moments, he has the supreme confidence, no matter how he's shooting, that he's going to hit the next shot. And as far as Adis, I mean, he does a little bit of everything for their team. He's really kind of like a glue that kind of holds them together just because he's able to do so much. He's able to defend, he's able to score, he's able to rebound. And he's probably one of the tougher kids that they have on their team. So when you have a guy like that, he really just boosts their whole team up when he's playing well.
Question from Myron.
For Paolo and Wendell, I know you all have interacted with Steph Curry. I think he gave you guys some fist bumps coming in. And what was that like? I mean, a guy like that kind of being around the team going into yesterday's game.
Really, it was an honor, you know, meeting a guy like Steph Curry. You know, obviously everybody knows what he's done, all the stuff he's done for the game, how he's changed the game. But just getting to meet him, you know, you realize just, you know, he's a real down-to-earth, humble guy, you know. He got fans all around the world, you know, a whole bunch of money. But he's just, you know, he's a cool guy. You know, he's talking to us, you know, giving us advice, you know, telling us, you know, we won't get this back, so make sure to cherish it and be in the moment. And to hear that from a legend like him is priceless.
We'll do one final question for our student athletes.
Billy Witz with the New York Times. This is for Mark. When players come to Duke, they probably don't think about playing zone defense much, and you know there's the whole floor slapping thing, and you know that kind of connotes just getting up in your man. What was it like when you in the huddle last night when Coach made the decision to go to zone?
I think it was a good decision. Obviously, you know, I think it gave them a different look as far as, you know, defense. You know, we hadn't been in zone all game. You know, we talked about it beforehand that, you know, there's a chance we could use it, and then, you know, we felt like that was a perfect time to use it, and I think it paid off.
It's that time of year as college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Bet Online, where the game starts.